Hey y'all, it's me, Lynn Daniel, coming to you today. It is Saturday, September 30th. Yeah, man, tomorrow is October, and I'm here on my Buddy Zone channel, The Buddy Zone. So listen, I speak slowly, so for the fun, listen to me at 1.5 speed, guys, because, I don't mind you listening to me, but I want you to watch the entire video. But I know that you're busy, as I am. I respect your time. I do want you to subscribe, though, and hit that notification button so you can know when I upload new videos. And please thumbs up this video. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things. Today was our school day at my school, so got up early, went there, worked in the garden, and it was good. It was really good. The students came out to get their extra credit and to work with their community service, to be involved. And that's always good to see students take that initiative on a weekend, on a beautiful sunny Saturday weekend, and colleagues, parents, and just, oh my goodness, the spirit of community cooperation, collaboration, and care was very evident. And then also there were flag football games and different football sports going on, teams, structured teams going on the field for the community schools or teams. And that was great, seeing the young people doing that and listening to their inspirational music while we worked in the garden. So I just wanted to share that with you. Love your school. Give back to your school. Plant seeds of hope in your school. So I got a question on one of my most recent videos from Miss Fantasy. Hey girl, she's awesome. She's been one of my family members here on YouTube for, some years, for quite a while. And she migrated from my Lynn Daniel channel. Now she's found me here on my teacher channel, and she's actually a new counselor. And I think she's in a charter school or a public school, I think. So correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Fantasy. But anyway, she had questions about studying for a specialist degree. And, I just want to talk a little bit about when I was in high school, when I was in elementary, I found learning easy. I didn't like to read when I was in elementary. Now, I'm just going to give you some back history on me because, some people build study habits early, but I didn't. I found learning easy overall in elementary. So I don't recall studying in elementary. I do recall playing school a lot. Maybe that was studying or giving me a practice with my newly learned skills. We played school a lot because my grandmother was a matron in a school, a custodian, a matron. They called them matrons in those days. And so the school would often give her surplus things. So we would have school supplies and we played school. That's what we played. We played house and we played school. And so, but as far as studying, I don't recall studying in elementary. Now, when I got to high school, my freshman year, didn't study. Sophomore, junior, and senior year, the school I attended was a lot more rigorous, but still I had not yet developed the best study habits. I was developing some study habits. I was developing an appreciation for the library, so I found myself in the library a lot because, back in the day, you did your research using the card catalog, and you would have to go through the card catalog to find the book to see if it was there available. And then you would have to search the stacks for the books. So I was beginning to establish a routine and a location for studying. But I still didn't have a method down for organizing facts and details like index card system or or thinking map systems, or I didn't like outlining. I really found outlining difficult for me because to me that's mathematic and it's very linear and mathematical, and I am more language strength thinking, and it didn't follow a language to me that I was familiar with. So I didn't like the outlining method for studying and for organizing notes and content. So I'm giving you that backstory because I think we really need to begin to understand the importance of having role models for study habits and tips, identifying individuals who we interact with, who do have strong study habits so that we can mimic them and learn from them, model them, ask them questions, and just sort of, fall into the habits that we see them acquiring or have that they have developed for themselves for studying. So have a role model, have a place, a location, and have like a system. Nowadays, you can use your internet, Google, different search engines. You can use your technologies and things. So that really is an advantage because the card catalog system took forever. It was very laborious. So when I started studying for my specialist back in 2011, I did an educational specialist degree in 2011, 2012. And I pretty much, you have to do the reading, so you have to read the materials and then develop a way to remember and at this level though, at the level of, because I'm taking you to elementary to high school, and I skipped over my undergrad and I skipped over my master's, and I'm taking you to my specialist. So I was developing study habits even, in those levels, but it's an ongoing process. It's not stagnant. Establishing learning habits grow and change because you get new methodologies. They come to us through educational, through your school, through your instructors, through your counseling services, new methods of studying and acquiring knowledge and expanding knowledge. They come to us, and so we must continue to learn what those methods are. And so back in undergrad, I was doing the basic note card writing. I did a lot of longhand notes back in the day in undergrad. I would listen to lectures and take the longhand notes. I would read, I would highlight. I did not know how to annotate, or I didn't understand that it was called annotating back then, but I would highlight text and then I would write it out on my paper, what it meant or what I gained from it, instead of writing it in the book. Nowadays, we mark the text. We read, mark, and annotate the text directly in the book, which is, I think, the best because you have all your notes in one place, and then it's an easy organizational system when you do it that way. So undergrad, I was scaffolding my skills with studying, and so by the time I got to my specialist, I had some pretty strongly established routines and methods. What I did do is I found myself back in the university library because I felt that I needed, like especially on weekends or on days in the summer when I had the time, to be in the library so that I was around in the environment that helped me to focus and helped me to stay on task. So that, like at home, especially if I was going to take a chunk of work and it took some hours, at home I would find myself taking mini breaks, maybe listening to music or watching TV. But in the library, I didn't do that. I was strictly focused on task. And so that's why I was in the library a lot doing my specialist. Also, when I was doing statistics class, I hired a tutor, actually, my tutor had a doctorate, and he was subbing at the time. He was an older gentleman who had retired his, his career job and was subbing, had already acquired a doctorate many, many years ago, and was very strong in math. And so I hired him as my tutor, and he was great. He was really great with helping me to increase my comfort for working with the statistics and um, the different measurements or whatever. I forget what you call them, but operations and all that you use to find the X or whatever you were looking for, on the bell curve, what side of the bell curve it went to, or how it measured out, what percentage of the, he increased my comfort with um, working with math and stuff like that. So, Miss Fantasy, these are things you can do. I know you're new in your position, so I don't know. I can assume. I mean, based on my experience and knowledge working in a school setting, that you are very busy. You're getting acclimated to your new position and learning what's the expectations of your role and getting to know people who you can rely on and things like that. And so you may not have time to physically sit in a library, but I will suggest that you find your place. Like my mentor now on my dissertation, he highly recommends that you rent an office space. He calls it rent a closet, a very small, affordable, because that's why he says small and like a closet. A very affordable place that you can rent for like a year, 6 months, or however long it's going to take you to get your dissertation completed. You get that space, you rent it, and that is where you go every day or whatever your schedule allows you. You block it out and you schedule it on your calendar. And he would do, I think, like 2 hours during the week and then the entire weekends. I think that's what he said. I know for certain that his weekends were there. And then he had a family, so I don't know if he was able to commit to the 1 hour or 2 hours every day. But that's what he recommends that we do. Find ourselves a closet where you will not be disturbed. You will be able to focus. No one will know where you are. They can't bother you. That's his point of saying, like, find a closet, an affordable place. So this is my closet. This is just when I, knew I needed a closet, this is what I chose to do to get my closet. And so behind me, you see my planning board where I plan out my chapters, or I at least slap ideas up there or comments. I had some articles up there that I had used in different things. And so this is a moving board. It doesn't, the information up there, some of this it's been there, but other things come and go, and then these things are there for a reason. And so you have to do some things. You have to put in place some structures that allow you to be engulfed, immersed in your studies, so that you are fully aware of the requirements of your studies, and then you're fully immersed in it, and it is forever in the forefront of your mind that you got to think about it. You've got to consider it, like weight it in your mind, or wrestle with different components of your studies, wrestle with them so that they become embedded in your understanding. And so I appreciate the tips that I received from my mentor and from other people. The tutor that I had when I was doing my specialist, he was great. He was really just awesome. And, there are so many people who can help you. I was showing my students a video clip yesterday. We were looking for central idea and themes in text. And Aesop Fables, the story about the lion and the mouse, was used as an example to help the students pull out the theme. And so the theme of that story is, you know, don't underestimate the small friend, because the smallest friend can sometimes be your biggest ally, or, you know, don't count anyone out, because those are the individuals who will be able to help you in a time of need or a dire situation. And so look around you, look in your world, look and see who can help you. The person who seems the smallest, like even children, when you look at how children learn, you look at their love for learning, their thirst and hunger for knowledge, and how they look when they acquire new knowledge, their excitement. I mean, it's just, you can feel it from children. They are so exuberant and exhilarated by learning something new and knowing that they are getting answers correct. And so examine the children in your school. Just notice how they feel or how they act when they get answers right. And then mimic that. Like, let the learning bring enthusiasm to you. I know at this level, like many of us, well, I don't count myself in this number now. I mean, it was a part of the game, or it was jumping through the hoops to rise in ranks on schedules and on columns, and to move you over and all of that. But and that's okay, because we all want to be able to feed our families and put a roof over our heads and all that. But if you can get to the place where you're learning your degrees, the process of getting another degree. I just shampooed my hair. So forgive me if the water is sliding down the back of my neck. I just shampooed my hair. And I don't put heat on my hair. So forgive me if I look like I'm crying. I'm not crying. That's water sliding down my neck. Okay. So the point I am making, though, is even though, you know, oftentimes we are getting higher degrees to move us up a pay scale and to move us over some columns into a new category, it's got to be more than that when you are at this level, these graduate levels. And especially if you're getting a whole new, like, cache of learning, you better enjoy what you're doing, because it's going to require so much from you. It's not going to be worth it. You're going to feel like, why am I doing this? And you'll quit. But if there is a sense of self, some sort of innate motivation for doing this, for getting this new degree or whatever, I think that will help you want to study. It will motivate you to want to set aside time to study, to make you a wall, you know, a study wall, a methodology wall, if you will, data wall. And you all see my towel up here. That's why my towel is up here too. So I can press my head back and catch yeah, I'm giving y'all too much information. So, but anyway, thanks for the question. I hope this helped. And this video is almost 20 minutes, so y'all better watch the whole video. So listen to me on 1.5. All right. Thank you very much. Be blessed. Bye.